Simple question. Have you read the indictment? Have you read Trump's indictment? No. And don't feel bad. Nobody has. Nobody has any idea of what the 34-count indictment is about. Nobody. Is it about sex or adultery or having his way with some skank, some trollop, some harlot, some courtesan, some meretrix, some virago, some termagant? No. It's falsifying business records. First degree. First degree falsifying of business records. That's what he's charged with. In the first degree, falsifying business records, putting them in this column versus this column. Does that mean he tried to claim a deduction? No. Does that mean he violated campaign laws? No. Well, why is it? I don't know. What's the theory? I don't know. What is the jury going to be listening to? I don't know. Read each of the counts, and they break down in particular the counts. I'm having a hard time even explaining this. For example, count 1, entering a voucher. Count 2, entering an invoice. Count 3, entering a pay stub. Count 4, entering a different voucher, a different check, it's the same basic idea, but they broke it down into like keystrokes. I don't understand it. And that's what we're talking about. You know, normally a good crime is something where you say, oh, I understand what he did. Charged with murder. Killed that guy. That's a good case. That's a good case to prosecute. Oh, he killed that guy. He beat that guy up. He stole that money. This is falsifying business records. And I don't know if it's because it's just against the law to just write down in your checkbook. If you were to write down something and you said, let me see. Tax time comes. Bowling dues. Let's see. I'm going to call this, business expenses. And you enter it into your ledger, your accounting system, as business expenses. And let's say it's wrong. Let's say that was somehow fraudulent. So what? I mean, the federal government didn't want this case. The Southern District of New York didn't want this. The feds, the election people didn't want this. Alvin Bragg didn't want this at first. Cy Vance, his predecessor, didn't want it. And then until two prosecutors quit in protest, then Alvin Bragg said, okay, let's look at it, but from a different angle. I'm telling you again, I know you've heard this, and you're thinking to yourself, it's the point's been overstated. No, the point's not been overstated. This, I don't understand what this is. And moreover, what is the defense? What is Trump going to say that he did not do? What does he say? What is their defense? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he didn't put it in that column. He put it in that column. Or he didn't mean to. Is there an intent requirement? Is there mens rea, a criminal mind that is required for this? Must you show willful, wanton, knowing violations of what? Bookkeeping rules? Again, is this fraud? I think they're trying to claim that when he reimbursed Cohen, who paid Stormy Daniels, that the payment to Cohen was really done not to hide the embarrassment of the affair or what have you, which I don't blame him. That is a bit embarrassing, especially with that trollop, that slattern. But they might be claiming, and I'm reading into it, that this was done as a benefit to his campaign, but it's not in the indictment. So I'm being forced to imagine what this is. I don't understand. Let me see if I can explain this again. How did this survive? How did it survive a motion to dismiss? I have to know how to plead my case. I've got to be able to read the indictment and say, ladies and gentlemen, my client did not do this, or they did not prove that, and I don't know what this and that are. I don't understand it. He violated this business records falsification statute. How? It just says, and it's a very, very simple thing. I don't want to bore you with this, but let me give you an example. I'm going to read to you. This is count 1, okay? The defendant in the county of New York and elsewhere on or about February the 14th, 2017, with intent to defraud and intent to commit another crime and aid and conceal the commission thereof, made and caused a false entry in the business records of an enterprise, to wit, an invoice from Michael Cohen dated February the 14th, 2017, marked as a record of the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust and kept and maintained by the Trump Organization. And that was count 1. So if I were to plead guilty to count 1, I don't know what the hell I'm pleading guilty to. Not only that, what's really important is when you plead guilty to a count, to something, it has to be clear enough. It has to be precise enough so that if they were to charge you, in essence, with the same crime again, you would be able to claim double jeopardy. You would say jeopardy attached under the Fifth Amendment. You can't charge me again, but you wouldn't be able to say whether they charged you with a different crime because you can't even tell what the first crime was in the first place. Now, if this sounds like complete and total nonsense, that's precisely my point. Stated differently, I don't know what the hell they're charging him with. Nobody does. What's the defense? I didn't do what? I entered an invoice. What's wrong with the invoice? It doesn't say. Because the invoice claims that. I mean, this can't be happening. This is nonsense. I don't know how this got past a motion to dismiss. And I say again, dear friends, what the hell is he charged with? What do you think? Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you like this video. And oh, dear friends, dear patriots, comment. Comment as you see fit.